Michael. I'm gonna teach you how to do a brake job. Okay. So, the first thing you do is you go over to the car, and you make sure the emergency brake is on. Well, the emergency brake is on. So once you put the emergency brake on, since we're doing the front tires, we go and we brace the back tires. Once we break the back tires, we come to the front and we unloosen the bolts. But we don't take the bolts off. We just unloosen them. So they'll be easier to take off and they won't be spinning as much in the end. So then, once we do that, we jack up the car about an inch to an inch and a half. Once we jack up the car, we put a stand underneath it, so the stand is more steadier than the jack. Once we do that, we can take off the bolts and the rim of the tire. Once we take those off, we lay them to the side, and we put the bolts inside the rim so we don't lose them, as you can see. And once we do that, as you can see over here, we take off the bolts from the caliper. And once we take the bolts off from the caliper, we put the bolts aside, and all you have to do is you pull off the caliper. Once you pull off the caliper, you need to take a wire hanger and hold up the caliper, because if you don't, it'll rip the hose. Once you take off the caliper and you have it hanging up, you look for the brake pads. Once you take the brake pads, you have to see which way goes which. And this is the front brake, and this is the back brake. And you have to see which one has the clamp on it and which one doesn't. So then, when you change the pads, you'll know which side goes where. Once you do that, you take your brake cleaner. Once you take the brake cleaner, you spray the brake, and you want to stay back because you don't want to inhale it or breathe it in. So you spray it, and once you spray it, you wait for it to dry. And then once it is dry, then you can put the brake pads back on it.
Good job.